welcome to Herald TV News at 3 with me, Shalane. The elections to 186 panchayats due in June are likely to be postponed in view of the recent Supreme Court directives asking all states and state commissions to follow the triple test on reservation of seats. The term of the existing panchayat bodies will expire on June 19th, and as such, government intends to hold polls within 6 months after that.
Chief Minister Pramod Sawant today chaired a meeting attended by Panchayat Minister Movin Gudino and others. During the meeting, it was decided to seek Advocate General Devidas Pangam's views on the Supreme Court verdict and on postponement of election date. Gudino told media that government's endeavour is to have elections as soon as possible and not to go for postponement.
We were about to announce the election, but both the Election Commission and the government is facing a frequent situation wherein there is a Supreme Court judgment as recent as 10th May, where it says that we have to follow the triple test. All seats as far as OBCs are concerned has to be necessarily the process of identifying and seeing which are the OBC seats have to be done by the OBC Commission. And once the undergo the triple test, thereafter then only the Election Commission or the government can declare the election. Now it is a situation where we have to take legal opinion and to be on the right side, because we don't believe in postponing the election. So we have decided that the best course for us in the present circumstances is to approach the Advocate General for his legal opinion, so as to guide us what would be legally tenable, because it is a very serious matter as far as holding the elections in time.
कितना टाइम लागतो ते प्रोसेस?
आता प्रोविजन प्रमाणे इन दॅट जजमेंटानूच जे घातला सुप्रीम कोर्टान, तेणी कितें घातला, on the expiry of the term or if an administrator has to be appointed for such circumstances, the period between the holding of the next election thereafter should not be beyond 6 months after the expiry of the term of the panchayat. Suppose आता त्यांचे term expire केन्ना जाता 19 June. So 6 months before that we'll have to hold the election, even if it has to pass the triple test. So the OBC Commission per se will have to do their job very quickly of identifying the OBC wards.
Okay. What the government wants to hold it as soon as possible for 6 months.
See, our endeavor is to hold the elections as soon as possible. Per se, as I said, आमकां पोस्टपोनमेंट नाकाच, पण आतां सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजमेंट येयला आनी फाल्यां आमी आतां डिसिजन घेयलें आहा तशें आमी इलेक्शन घेवचें जें इलेक्शन कमिशनान आमकां करून दिलां. फाल्यां परत कोण कोर्टा वयतलो पळय, सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजमेंट फॉलो करूना, सो दे वील बी अ स्टॉप टू द इलेक्शन. सो बेटर वी डू आवर होमवर्क प्रॉपर्ली, take the proper legal opinion and then arrive at a decision.
So the administrator
but in the circumstances, yes, it looks likely that election may be held 6 months, means a few months later.
Bureau Report for Herald TV.
Even 9 days after 19-year-old youth was assaulted at Baga, the culprits have not been nabbed. Relatives allege that Kalangot police, including PI Laxia Monkar and his police sub-inspector Viraj Naik, who is investigating the case, are not moving fast to nab the culprits. The 19-year-old youth was hit on the head and is still in Goa Medical College undergoing treatment and in critical condition. The accused, who allegedly assaulted the 19-year-old, is from Baga itself, relatives stated.
Accused of 19-year-old youth who was assaulted at Baga still at large, say relatives. Kalangut police, who are investigating the case, are not moving fast, alleged relatives. The 19-year-old youth was hit on the head and is still in Goa Medical College in critical condition.
7 तारखेर इन्सिडेंट जाला सारको 7 तारखेर राती, पूण आनी तेन्नासान तो भुरगो बाबडो आजुनूय तो हें जावंक ना, आजुनूय जीएमसीनूच आहा, पूण पुलिसान आजुनूय एक्शन घेवंक ना आनी तो जेणेन पळय मारला स्टीक तेजेर तो आजुनूय भायर पावता. सो आमकां इतलेंच एक हें हा, एक रिक्वेस्ट करूंक जाय पुलिसांक की बाबा मातशें एक्शन घेवचें तेंचेर, कित्याक ह्यो भुरग्याचें क्रिटिकल कंडिशन आहा ताका मातशें एक्शन घेवचें, तेजेर मातशें एक्शन घेवचें, अदरवायज हें फ्युचराक आनीक दुसऱ्याचें न्ही घडटलें. ताका लागून आमकां एकूच मागणी आहा की पुलिसान मातशें एक्शन घेवचें आनी ते बाबड्याक ते ताका न्याय दिवचें, इतलेंच.
कोण तो मारपी?
मारपी
वळखना सर तेका आमी वळखना. तो म्हणटा बाय मिस्टेक जाला म्हणटा. बाय मिस्टेक जाला जाल्यार तूं यो मरे फुड्यान यो आनी पळय न्हू. आमी तेका वळखना, आमी पळोवंक सुद्दां ना.
तेजें नांव जालें आशीष पालेकर.
आशीष कितें आतां नांव सांगता.
आशीष पालेकर.
भाव, दोग जाण भाव आहा ती. तो एकटो भितर आहा
आशीष
सद्या.
पालेकर
तेका
कितें नांव
धरला
तेजें?
बेश्टें नांव बाबा
बागान
बरोबर.
तेजें घर एक्चुली आमचे कालंगूट सर्कल, बागा सर्कल आहा पळय, मातशें एक 300 मिटर फुडें तेजे थिंगा सायडीक गाडो आहा तेजो. सो ते गाड्याच्या फुडल्यानूच जाला इन्सिडंट हे.
ती कॅमेरा बी आसतले न्हू?
कॅमेरा
दिना सर, कॅमेरा
तिगा
CCTV.
सगल्याक CCTV आहा, सगल्या शॉपांनी CCTV आहा, पूण पुलीस कोणाकूच CCTV भायर दिना आनी तांकां ऑलरेडी धमकायला तेंच्यांनी की CCTV कोणाक दिवचे न्हू म्हणून. पुलिसा कडेन सगळे CCTV आहा. ते दिसा कितें इन्सिडंट जाला पळय सारके CCTV आहा. तो बाबडो हिंगा रावलोलो आनी तेजे फाटल्यानसान तेणें ताका एको हें मारलें पळय, CCTV आहा, पूण पुलीस कोणाकूच भायर CCTV काडूंक दिना.
कंप्लेंट रजिस्टर जाला.
कंप्लेंट रजिस्टर जाला, सेम डे कंप्लेंट रजिस्टर जाला, पूण एक्शन आजुनूय ना. तो
आनी
मारला तो भायरूच
भुरग्यांक
आहा.
व्हरून भितर दवरले
तेका
2
लागून,
दीस.
हय.
आमकां सांगलें कितें तुज्या भुरग्यांक धाड, ते मेवळा दादला आनी तेका वळखोंक जाय म्हणून. हांव सर म्हणलें ती भियाताली, हांव येवचें ना म्हणलें. हांव बांबोलीन आसा, हांव कंडिशन हें म्हजे चेड्याचें म्हटलें. पयलें जाल्यार म्हाका म्हणूंक लागलें PS म्हणटा कितें 10 मिनटां ताका धाड गो, घरा धाडटा तुज्या चेड्या. पयलें जाल्यार तांकां अरेस्ट करून भितर धरले 2 दीस. कितें म्हणून करतली? 2 भुरगीं भितर धरला आनी 2 भुरगीं, एक चेडो हांगा सिरियस. कितें बगर थंय सायन मारूंक आपयता. ओके, सायन मारूंक आपयता, सायन घेया ना धाडा न्हू. 3-3, 4-4 वरां तांकां बसयताय तुमी.
कोणा कडेन केस आहा ती? इंस्पेक्टर कोण?
इंस्पेक्टर विराज नायक. विराज नायक ते कडेन केस आहा कालंगूट पुलीस स्टेशन. सो एक्शन अजून कित्याक घेवंक ना? कित्याक 10 दीस जाले, इतले टायम लागोना कोणाक अरेस्ट करपाक. इतले टायम लागोना कोणाक अरेस्ट करपाक. सो म्हाका जाय कित्याक ताका अरेस्ट करूंक ना तुमच्यांनी अजुनूय? कितें पॉलिटिशियन तुमकां हें आहा, तेजेर प्रेशर कितें आहा? म्हाका जाय इतले दीस तुमच्यांनी अरेस्ट करूंक जाय आसलें. कित्याक ह्यो केन्ना हेजे क्रिटिकल, इतले कंडिशन क्रिटिकल आहा की केन्ना कितें जातलें तें सांगूंक शकना. डॉक्टर सुद्दां म्हणटा 50-50 चान्सीस. सो ताका लागून एटलिस्ट तुमी तें तरी डॉक्टराचें आयकोन तरी ताका अरेस्ट करूंक जाय आसलो.
The Bandorkar Gold Trophy, which was part of the Pride of Place tournament in Indian football played between 1970 and 1994, was out of the public domain from 1995 to 2015. Then suddenly in 2016, GFA President Elvis Gomes sought permission to bring it out of the central bank vault to display it at the Federation Cup and revive the richness of the trophy, not the tournament. In 2016, the trophy was also unofficially valued and shockingly found to be gold-plated, not 11 kg solid gold, which would have been worth rupees 5 to 6 crore.
The Banunkar Gold Trophy was out of the public domain from 1995 to 2015. Then, in 2016, GFA President Elvis Gomes sought permission to bring it out of the central bank vault. When it was unofficially valued in 2016, it was said to be gold-plated and not solid 11 kg gold. Quite surprisingly, no valuation of the Bandorkar Gold Trophy was ever done by the GFA at any point of time, either before and after this realization. You can watch the entire debate on Bandorkar Gold Trophy on Herald TV's program Point Counterpoint and on YouTube.
On the 3rd of January 2015, Elvis Gomes wrote a letter to Kushal Das, who was the AIFF General Secretary at that point of time, seeking permission to take this particular trophy out of the bank locker of the central bank and display it at both the venues of the Federation Cup, I think either 2 venues of the Federation Cup on January 7th. This permission was sought via email written to Kushal Das on the 3rd of January 2015. Kushal Das immediately gave permission for it, and the reason was to basically to revive the whole memory of the Bandorkar Cup. That is one interesting point that was written, that this letter came out on January 3rd. What is interesting is that 2 days later, on January 5th, 2015, there was a person called Mark Barreto. Mark Barreto was from the Boomerang Sports Club. It is so understood that at the same time in 2015, Elvis Gomes and the GFA were trying to revive the Bandorkar Trophy again, and they had taken a presentation. They wanted to present and brand the Bandotkar trophy again and revive it and bring it back to its former glory. So there's a big branding exercise going on to get a professional agency to come and brand it. Boomerang Sports Club decided to pitch for this thing. This is just 2 days after. January 3rd, he writes to Kushal Das wanting to display the trophy. January 5th, this letter from Boomerang Sports Club comes to the presentation. The request to present is put by Boomerang Sports. What is very interesting here is that the Boomerang Sports Club, in its presentation, said that this could be marketed. This particular trophy could be marketed as one of the richest trophies in India.
हांव ते चॅक करपाक गेलो म्हणजे तांकां एक हें आसली एल्वीस गोम्साक की ही ट्रॉफी गोल्ड जाल्यार हेजो हे व्हॅल्यू आतां कितें आसतलो
रायट
कितें आसतलो व्हॅल्यू
रायट
पूण हांवें ती चॅक केली आनी चॅक करता आसतना म्हाका तो डावट ही गोल्ड न्ही म्हणून हांवें तरी सांगलें हाका ही गोल्ड न्ही म्हणून तरी म्हणलें म्हाका परत ती चॅक करची पडटली ती विथ सारकी एसीड हें बी करून
माय क्वेश्चन
मागीर हांवें चॅक केली हांवें सांगली गोल्ड न्ही म्हणून इट्स गोल्ड प्लेटेड तरी आसतना ताका सांगलें हांवें तूं आनीक कोणाक हाडून चॅक कर म्हाज्या एकट्याचेर रावूं नाका कित्याक एल्वीस गोम्साक ते हें आसलें वॉट यू हॅव स्पोकन जस्ट नाव दॅट ही वॉन्ट टू स्टार्ट दॅट अगेन दॅट रिवायव एवरीथींग एल्वीस गोम्स ही वॉज ऑल्सो शॉक्ड ना त्या टायमार तो ताका शॉक बसलो सारको अरे हें अशें कशें काय म्हणून मागीर ताका सांगलें तूं आनीक कोणाक हाडून चॅक कर कित्याक व्हडलो कंट्रोवर्सी इश्यू न्ही तो तेणें मागीर म्हाका आनीक कोणाक चॅक केलें तेणें मागीर म्हाका सांगलें हाणें गोल्ड प्लेटेड म्हणून
रायट
सपोज त्या टायमार समज 11 kg गोल्ड जाल्यार म्हाका दिसता आतां ती व्हॅल्यू 5 crores 50 to 6 crores आतां व्हॅल्यू जावंक जाय
रायट
एज पर प्रेझेंट रेट
But Udaybab, tell me that point of time, did you discuss or were you aware of whether any valuation of that cup has been done or not? Before that, was there any valuation done of the cup?
No, I have asked Elvis. तो म्हणटा आपणे आतांच हाडला आपल्याकूय काय खबर नासली आपणे आतां हाडल्या.
It has been a month and 3 days that the terminated staff of Institute of Psychiatry and Human Behavior are protesting for the regularization of their jobs. The workers who are jobless for a month now do not have money to pay school fees, purchase medicines for their sick, or even buy monthly ration. To sustain themselves and their families, the workers are now forced to borrow money from their neighbors. However, they are hopeful that CM Pramod Sawant and Health Minister Vishwajit Rane will pay heed to their situation and consider the needs of their families and rehire them.
It has been a month and 3 days that the terminated staff of the IPHB are protesting for the regularization of their jobs. The former IPHB employees are unable to pay their debts, school fees, buy medicines, or stock up ration. The workers are forced to borrow money from their neighbors in order to sustain themselves.
आयज हांगासर आमी जे येता पळय ते कशें येता पळय ते म्हणजे आमची परिस्थिती सुद्दां हांगा येवपाची धड हांगासर आमकां जेवपाक सुद्दां आमचे कडेन पयशे नासतात आमी बेश्टे ब्रेड कितें भाजी बी कितें हाडून हांगासर खाता तरी आसतना आमकां जी एक आशा आसता कित्याक आमकां हांगासर येयल्या उपरांत एक आमचें थंय काम जातलें म्हणून आमकां एक आशा आसा आनी आमी अजून पर्यंत आमी सीमा कडेन सुद्दां आमी तांकां हें करता कितें मान्य मुख्यमंत्र्याक हेल्थ मिनिस्टराक सुद्दां तेच्या कडेन मागता आमकां हें बेगीन आमकां कामार घेवचें आनी आमची जी जे आमी आसा पोटाची आमची जी हें आसा पळय ते आमचे मागीर हें चलतलें फुडें त्याच प्रमाणे आमचें तें भुरगीं बाळ आसा तेंची आतां फी बी आसा ती सुद्दां आतां आमचे कडेन भरपाक परिस्थिती ना
डिरेशन येता म्हणजे कडेन येवपाक जाता तर पयशे ना तिका भुरगीं कॉलेजीक वयता तेजे एडमिशनाक पयशे जाता आनी बेगीन आपलें हें कितें करपाचें सर आमचे भितर घेवपाचें हेल्थ मिनिस्टरांचें हें मागीर
आतां 1 म्हयनो जाला हांगर येता
दुसऱ्या कडल्यान पयशे मागून हाडटा आतां सदांच लोक आमकां पयशे दिवचे ना कित्याक 8 दीस पळय दिता सदांच दिना 1 म्हयनो जालो सदांच मागून हाडटा हेच्या फुडें मागता कितें आमकां बेगीन भितर घेवचें
आमी आतां पळय आमी हांगा येता आमी आतां आमचे कडेन पयशे ना हांव खरें म्हाजें सांगता हांव शेजाऱ्या कडल्यान पयशे मागून घेतले हे 4 दिसाच्या पयलीं पूण शेजारी म्हणून कितली दितली आमकां कितली दितली एक म्हयनो दितली 2 म्हयने दितली पूण ती आतां सदींच काय दिवं शकना न्हू पूण हांव अशें म्हणटा की आमकां आमचो जॉब आसा जाल्यार आमी कायम आमचे बाबा फुडार चलोवंक शकता अशें म्हाका दिसता कित्याक आमी आमचें काम हें आमकां म्हत्वाचें आसा काम हें आमकां जाय
आयज आमची घरां भुरगीं आसा हॉलिडे पडलेली आसा भुरग्यांक दिसता की आमचे आवय बापूय आमच्या फुड्यान आसची मातसो थोडो वेळ तरी आपल्या फुड्यान रावचें तेंय ना आमी कितें थोडेशें कितें घरान कितें पेज शिजयता आनी भायर सरून येता कित्याक कितें करतले सुद्दां जाल्यार आमचे कडेन आमी सद्या म्हणल्यार कामाक ना, पेमेंटूय ना, पयशेय ना आनी हो जो सिजन आसा तो पावसा पाणयाचो आसा, आमकां कितें सांबाळून दवरूंक जाय करूंक जाय तेंय बीन ना. तरी सुद्दां आमी हांगा कोणा कडल्यान मागून करून हांगा पर्यंत येता. आमी कितें येवन हांगा खातात तें आमकां खबर ना, कित्याक कशी आमची परिस्थिती जाल्ली आनी कशी आमी येता. थोडे कोणा कडेन मागून घेतलेले आसा पयशे ते सुद्दां आमकां दिवपाक आयज आमचे कडेन जायना.
Devasamy Pillai, who embraced Christianity in the 18th century, on Sunday became the first Indian layman to be declared a saint by Pope Francis during an impressive canonization ceremony here at the Vatican. Devasamy was recommended for the process of beatification by the Vatican in 2004 at the request of the Kota Diocese, Tamil Nadu Bishops' Council and the Conference of Catholic Bishops of India. What significance does the canonization of Devasamy Pillai have for us in India?
Devasamy Pillai becomes first Indian layman to be declared saint by Pope Francis. Devasamy was recommended for beatification by the Vatican in 2004. The canonization of Devasamy Pillai has a lot of significance for us in India.
The canonization declaration that he is the first martyr, Indian first martyr and lay person martyr and saint is the best joyful news that we received. And the whole church is rejoicing. It is not only our country, because he is saint and he is a martyr for the entire Catholic Church. We have to work for the downtrodden. We have to uplift human dignity. We have to uphold equality and work for the betterment and welfare of the least that we come across in our society. This is the message he gives to us.
It is so strange that for so many years the church kept silent about this holy man, even though he was a martyr. And that itself shows that people thought that saints could not come from a country like India. And yet India is noted for its spirituality. And so we are proud to have this martyr finally recognized, so that he stands out as a worthy example, especially to our lay people who are married, especially to our lay people who are very often passive and even dormant, that we may wake up and be enthusiastic in the mission of Jesus Christ, especially in this time of ours where there is so much of discrimination, not only in Karnataka but even here in Goa. We ask this saint to intercede for us.
In a self-accident, a Tata Nexon car rammed into a cement electric pole, causing it to break and fall on a parked scooter in Moira. The incident took place early Monday morning at 2 a.m. The car occupant escaped with no injuries. The accident caused a power cut in the area. More details are awaited.
In a self-accident, a Tata Nexon car rammed into an electric pole, causing it to break and fall on a parked scooter in Moira. The incident took place early morning at 2 a.m. and the car occupant escaped with no injuries. The accident caused a power cut in the area. More details awaited. Prakash Kadekar for Herald TV.
Locals from Bade, Asagaon, Anjuna and Para have raised their serious concern over the huge land scams happening in these villages. On Sunday, several locals came out and spoke on how their houses are getting disposed under this racket of fake deeds inserted in archives and sub-registrar of MAPSA in collusion with Mamladar from Bardes. They also allege that many properties are being mutated in the name of these fraudsters and have all the documents to prove that the properties are transferred fraudulently.
Fake deeds, fake properties registration in Bade Asagaon locals have said houses are getting This process under this racket of fake deeds inserted in the archives and sub-registrar of MAPSA in conclusion with Mamledar from Barthes, they alleged. They also allege that many properties are being mutated in the name of these fraudsters and have all the documents to prove that the properties are transferred fraudulently.
We noticed that his major properties, about 3 properties are already somebody has captured. So we have no defense since every government office is not helping us. So now our Christine Dias, who is a lawyer, she is helping us to get justice.
The survey number where I reside, that is 39/4, including my grandfather's property, which is survey number 31/2. So when we came to know about this, we have also filed an objection on 29th of March, after which on 30th of March, similar thing has taken place wherein mutation proceeding they have applied for. So now we had 2 hearings for which we had to go, by which the Mamledar as well as the opposite party, they were not present. So third date is given to us on 8th of June.
This plot was already put out for sale and we were given a 15 days notice to clear all the things. It was my friend Nelson's son who saw it and informed my daughter, because I am in Dubai, and then from there we spoke to Christine and we started the procedure to get it back. Maybe we came to know somewhere on 7th or something of April.
How much
It was put out for sale with a 15 days notice. Now, I have one suggestion, is we also go through the economic offences wing, because this is a massive fraud. No? We can approach them also.
29th of March we put the objection. On the 30th of March there was a sale deed registered to the buyer named Lenchu K. James. Right? And as Christine said, the Mamledar was wanting to expedite certain cases within 7 days. But for my case, I haven't got a hearing initially. The first initial hearing was not up to 2 weeks. Right? He was not giving me a hearing date of 2 weeks. Only when Christine intervened, they formally said that they would give us a date. So there's a lack of procedure for sure. There might be some self-vested interest for sure, because in certain cases they want to expedite it, in certain cases they don't want to do it.
According to these deeds, which is accepted by the revenue authorities, are based on facts or sold by people who were not even in existence at that point of time. Basically what they are doing, they are taking the Form 1 and 14 of the present owners, inserting those names in the 1951 deeds and executing these deeds of sale, subsequently on basis of succession deeds, and totally, and all mutation proceedings are without any procedure.
Prakash Gadekar for Herald TV.
Ancestral houses and a heritage chapel that were built before the railways laid the first track could have their walls torn down if the much opposed expansion of these tracks become a reality. The people taking up the battles to save their land are suffering from health ailments caused by the hazardous coal pollution. When they raise their voices, it is shut down even though their future and life as they know it is at stake.
It's a fight for survival by the sons of the soil in the dust blows of coal. What is considered to be the pride of Goa, century-old heritage structures, are just dots on the map for railway authorities and survey numbers marked for the land acquisition. These heritage houses and monuments, some of which were built even before the railways laid their first track, and now facing partial demolition if the double track project does proceed through Majorda, Kansaulim, Arosim, Kuelim, Isorim and numerous other neighboring villages along the southern western railway track.
This rail track was laid on a footpath of people, you know, somewhere in the 1800s. It was the end of the century. Probably at that time the Portuguese thought that, we have to bring in goods or take, it was only for goods. Then they started a train for people to go to work. This coal, the first came the mining and then came the coal. And now they want to double the transportation. It's only for transportation of coal.
And how often do the trains pass here? I'm asking this because I hear that locals have issues getting from one side to the other side. You'll are blocked by the when the train passes. You'll are blocked. Can you speak about?
Yes, it is very dangerous for the people. A few days back we had 2 incidents. 2 people were killed, hit by the train while crossing the tracks. They were unaware that the train was coming. Imagine if someone is sick in the house and we call an ambulance. First of all, the ambulance cannot reach us because this gates are closed for at least 10-15 minutes, sometimes even half an hour. And then even if you get the sick person into the ambulance, we have no way to go to the hospital. Here there is a track, here there is a gate, you go a little further, there's another one. That side is a Konkan gate and we are blocked inside here.
Exponential not only by the number of, because of the doubling, it will be exponential because the number of coal rakes will also increase. Today the movement on the track is slowed down because there are congestion points. Once you have a free flow on both sides, there will be a continuous flow and it will be exponential.
Speaking about the speed of the trains, as you mentioned, the passing by, we spoke to a lot of locals who told us that their structure, their walls are crumbling due to the vibrations caused by the speed of the trains. Yeah. Have you come across people who have suffered like this?
No, I mean, I'll go a little deeper into the question of speed. When the track was first laid, it was a meter gauge track. It was laid built during the Portuguese era. The speed at which the trains were moving was 40 kilometers an hour. Today they are moving at 110 kilometers an hour. Our ancestors had kept a patch of land on both sides of the track, about 10 meters, which was very well thought of. They were intended for vibration dampers. You know, there was a trench built and you had the vibration being absorbed by those trenches. So it was not affecting the old buildings because they were going below, the vibration was moving below. So that was kept with intention. Today the railways claim it is their land. So so we have filed a petition in the High Court, in the local High Court, and our 2 main issues on that petition are number 1, does the panchayat have a say in the local development? As mentioned in the Constitution, as mentioned in the Town and Goa Panchayat Raj Act, as mentioned in the Town and Country Planning Act. They are violating everything. They are not even consulting us. Their own railway board mandates that they talk and ensure that they talk to the local panchayat.
It is Aditya Bidre and Carsten Miranda for Herald TV.
That's all we have in today's news bulletin. Thanks for watching Herald TV News. For more news alerts, please follow us on Heraldo on Facebook and Twitter. Take care and goodbye.